Dan Mandis here along with Joan. Sam is here producing as well. You know, we're talking about that news found at the stadium. One of the things that I find interesting, and then we'll move on, but one of the things that I find interesting is, as we're talking about this, they're making every single construction worker in that place take basically HR training.
Isn't it amazing?
I can't even imagine. And they have literally stopped construction at the stadium. It is shocking to me that they are just, I mean, I'm sorry, but it feels like they're overreacting. I mean, when you look at, and listen, I'm not saying that I'm like, this is going to sound so dumb. It's not like I'm pro-noose. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know, I mean, you get what I'm saying.
Yes.
Even if it is an actual noose and a hateful thing, doesn't, in my opinion, mean that you stop construction on a hundred millions of dollars of stadium. You don't stop construction. They actually offered these guys, I guess maybe we just have a bunch of, I would say the leaders here who are making the construction workers take all of these, human resources classes, why nooses are bad and so forth. But they're also offering them counseling. Now, what construction worker out there like sees something that is a noose and they need counseling? This sounds like, even if it is a noose and it was an actual noose that is so obviously hearkening back to the horrific days of what that noose represents. Really? Do we need therapy? You stop the construction of the stadium? Yeah, you stop the construction of a stadium and you make all of these, big burly construction workers take human resources training. It seems so incredibly stupid.
And the thing is that it almost always turns out that we find out that these things are a hoax.
Yeah, hoax. We had the race car driver.
Yeah.
What's his name? Bubba.
Not Watson.
Wallace.
Wallace. Bubba Wallace.
Bubba Wallace.
Thank you.
And remember, and here's the other thing. Do you remember when that story came out and it was like, oh my God. And then you saw the picture and then people are like, well, that's a garage pole.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's a garage pole. And then you had Jussie Smollett, who clearly was lying. I mean, since like day one when that story came out, I was on the air. I told folks this earlier. I was on the air when that story exploded. And I'm like, this doesn't pass the smell test. Who was walking around Chicago at 2:00 in the morning looking for a sandwich on the coldest night of the year? And then he happens along a couple of guys randomly carrying bleach and a noose, wearing MAGA hats in one of the cities that is the most videoed cities in America, Chicago. So we've been through this a number of different times. There have also been moments where you have things that are either scrawled on the side of a building, racial slurs and all, and there have been many times where that was actually done, by a black person. Like if it's the N-word scrawled on the side of a building, sometimes we find out that was actually done by a black person. I mean, I'm sorry, but that happens. It also happens where some, really dirtbaggy, nefarious people who are white supremacists and so forth, they do it too. But I'm just saying that I don't know if this passes the smell test. But even if it does, a gross overreaction, $250,000 reward. Can I ask this question? Have we ever seen a $250,000 award for a random murder in the city of Nashville? Now realize that I think isn't the award being offered by the Builders Association or something, Joan?
It's $250,000.
And who is offering? It's not the city. It's the Builders Association or whatever.
Tennessee Builders Alliance.
Something just feels weird to me about this. Something just feels, and the fact that there's no picture of it anywhere yet. And listen, somebody, one of the haters on the super text line said, if this does turn out to be something nefarious, will you apologize? Well, apologize for what? I said it very well could be a real noose. But what I'm saying is, even if it is a real noose, the overreaction is just stunning to me that they would stop the entire construction of the football stadium. And by the way, how many of those guys are probably irritated that they're losing hours? Because a lot of those guys are paid by the hour. And now they're losing hours because of a supposed noose that they found. And when we were talking about this earlier, we had all these people that sent notes on the super text line saying, well, it could be a noose or it could be, and I think what do they call them, a pole line or something, Joan? And so
I don't remember what it is.
I don't remember either. But if you go to we had all these construction people sending us notes saying, well, it was probably this. It may have looked like a noose, but it actually wasn't. So again, I don't know, whatever. But to me, I'm waiting for a picture. I want to see what the whole thing looks like. And I would, I don't know, like to see the stadium start to be built again. It just seems like they are way overreacting. It is 8:14 on Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Have you seen, Joan, I thought this was funny, Zoran Mamdani. Have you seen the video of him trolling people on the right?
Oh, no.
He is going to his home country of Uganda. And he has now put out a video. And I'm going to tell you, I don't like Mamdani. I think that the dude is clearly a communist, but he trolls the right. And it's very funny. I'm actually going to play it. Probably going to make some people mad, but I'm going to play it anyway because I do believe that it's funny. And I can laugh at our side as well. Of course, he is the socialist. He is the communist, socialist Democrat, whatever you want to say. But he is possibly going to be the next mayor of New York. And so he is off on his way to, I guess, his home country of Uganda. Now, when that story came out, you had all these people on the right, including Laura Loomer. She says, amid growing outrage over his communist and jihadist policies, Zoran Mamdani has fled the country to his home country of Uganda to escape media accountability and questioning about his radical views. Then she says, is he going to Africa to get campaign cash? Is that what it is? So he puts out this video. This is why people like him. This dude terrifies the living crap out of me because I think that his policies are scary. But this is why people like him. He answers all of these critics and all of these, conservatives who are saying things like Laura Loomer.
Being a politician means listening, not just to your supporters, but your critics too. And some of these critics, especially on a certain website, have been giving me consistent advice. For example, @SamWhite087. Zoran, go back to Uganda, where you come from and belong. @TeflonGone. Loser, go back to Africa. There are thousands like this from...
Yeah, okay, I'm going to read some of these. Because all of these headlines pop up, right? I'm going to read some because, again, it's funny. You should be deported back to Africa. Go back from where you came. Bro, you getting sent back to Africa. Another one. Get rid of this guy. Go back to where you came from. You don't belong here. It's all of these just, I'm going to say it. I think it's all very silly because I think the guy's policies are scary, but I think that these kinds of headlines and people on the socials saying these kinds of things, I don't think it helps our side. I think what helps our side is a reasoned policy discussion like we had when this dude first arrived at this on the scene. Anyway, so he's reading all of these headlines.
Sir, go back to Africa. There are thousands like this from across the country. I hear you. And I agree. I'm going back to Uganda. I'm headed there in a personal capacity to celebrate Rama and I's marriage with our family and friends. But I do want to apologize to the haters, because I will be coming back.
Did you hear what he said, Joan?
Because I will be coming back?
I do apologize to the haters. I will be coming back.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the warning.
I'm sorry, but that's funny. I mean, this is like next level trolling.
And since you will undoubtedly read about this trip in the New York Post, inshallah on the front page, here are a few of my humble suggestions for headlines. MIA, Mamdani in Africa. Uganda miss me. He's completely crazy. He Afra can't be serious. Carl Kampala-Neely investigates Mamdani. Zoe running away.
And then you have he and another guy, and they're waving as he is on his way back to Uganda. I think that's funny. Am I wrong on this?
Nah.
That is next level trolling. And that's why people like this guy. Because he is able to mask his communism with his good nature. He's got a bright smile. But the reality is that he wants to defund the police. He wants the government to run grocery stores. All of those things that we talked about, again, when he first arrived on the scene, those are the things that you have to keep in mind. All of this stuff like go back to Africa and all of those things. I don't necessarily think that helps our side. I just don't. I think you talk about what the dude stands for, and he will more than likely lose, but we'll have to see ultimately what happens. Really fascinating, though, what is going on in New York, because, and this is a conversation that we have about, all of these folks that are watching this race in these cities where they perpetually vote in the worst policies ever. And you have decades of bad policies, and the Democrats still vote these idiots in. Did you hear the interview, Joan, with Lindsay Snyder?
No.
Do you know who she is?
No.
The In-N-Out CEO?
Oh, okay.
So she had an interview. I'm gonna play some audio bites from it. She had an interview. I forget who it was with, but the whole Allie Beth Stuckey, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And so she's talking about what she has been going through living in California, and realized that her family has made millions and millions of dollars in California as the owners of In-N-Out Burger. And she finally, as everyone knows, she finally said, you know what, screw it. We are going to leave California as a family, and we are going to move our company, leave California, go to Franklin, Tennessee. And she talks about that whole experience and the decision-making of deciding, you know what, as a family, we are going to move to Tennessee. And it's really interesting. And I absolutely love the book about In-N-Out. She wrote it, and I'm reading it, almost done, about how they started up In-N-Out way back when. I want to say it was in the mid to late 50s. And they ultimately ended up, as everybody knows, they built a hamburger chain empire in California. And they're finally coming to Tennessee, as is Lindsay Snyder. Do you know, I'm thinking, Joan, about going on, what do they call it when Muslims, they go to the Middle East and they go to, is it Mecca? Is that what they call it?
Oh, yeah.
I'm thinking about doing the same thing, but for the In-N-Out location in Lebanon.
Like it's a religious ritual.
Like it is a religious experience.
Yeah.
That's what In-N-Out is going to be like for me.
So when is it coming?
It's not till next year.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's called the Hajj.
The Hajj.
Hajj?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. What shows you how much I know. Anyway.
Yeah, it does.
Be quiet, Joan. You didn't know either.
I
You're all
didn't know.
hoity-toity. Get Joan over there. Anyway, so In-N-Out, of course, everybody knows that they are coming to Middle Tennessee. They are heading east. Allie Beth Stuckey had an interview with In-N-Out president Lindsay Snyder. And, she was talking about, need some audio. She was talking about the first time that she and her family leaving California for the state of Tennessee. Now, the thing is, there's a lot of people that are listening to me right now, sound of my voice, that can relate to what Lindsay Snyder has to say about living in Southern California and why she's moving to our neck of the woods. You people in Franklin, she's moving to your town.
We're building an office in Franklin, so I'm actually moving out there. And
wow, how do you feel about that? You're like a California girl through and through, right?
Yeah, I mean, I really loved living in Northern California, and I'm so thankful that I grew up there because I think it changed a lot of who I am today. You know, I think I would be different if I was raised in Southern California. But there, like you said, there's a lot of great things about California.
Name one. Okay, the beaches. The beaches are great. Mountains are fine. That's two. You get 2 baseball teams, so that's 3.
Wine country.
What's that?
Wine country.
Speak. Yes.
Sure. Joan. All right. There might be a few redeeming qualities of California, but obviously Lindsay Snyder is like, and this is the way that I was when I moved away from California for the last time many, many years ago. The negatives far outweighed whatever positives there were.
But raising a family is not easy here. Doing business is not easy here. No, the bulk of our stores are still going to be here in California. But it will be wonderful having an office out there, growing out there.
Best thing about that little comment, they've got a picture of Lindsay Snyder holding a Tennessee flag. I love that. I'm going to go ahead and repost this.
There.
Totally.
And being able to have the family and other people's families out there. And so in that, it's 2-part. We'll have everybody under one roof here in Baldwin Park, and we'll close our fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a big transition. And that's happening in the next few years, right?
Yeah, we've kind of, given it a longer runway so that it's smoother for everybody so they can plan and all of that. And we gave them a lot of notice, because we love them. And
you know what I love about the book that she wrote about In-N-Out is they are, and this is what I love about them, they are unapologetically Christian. And I like that about them. I mean, we all talked about, the Bible verses on the cups and all that kind of stuff, but they're unapologetic about it. And for, the folks in California, Gavin Newsom, I played you some of that audio last week. Gavin Newsom is unapologetically progressive. And one of the things, and I pointed this out, but one of the things that Gavin Newsom does is he'll extol the virtues of California, but to be perfectly honest, a lot of the things that he said are, as I said at the time last week, flat out lies. They're obfuscations or they're half-truths. And all you have to do is look at what California is losing and what Tennessee is gaining. And so the part of this story is that In-N-Out it's not a national brand. In-N-Out is a worldwide brand. And them bailing on California, I think, at least for me, it tells you all you need to know about California, and it does tell you all you need to know about our state of Tennessee. One more soundbite.
I want to make it as easy as possible, but by 2030, we'll close the Irvine office. So.
Okay, so at one point you said that within your lifetime, like if you draw a line straight from Texas, everything to the left, like you want In-N-Out there, but not maybe to the right of the line. Yeah. And you talked about just like the importance of the kind of like novelty of In-N-Out, like that you liked when someone comes into town where there's an In-N-Out, they're like, I got to go there, which is totally true. Yeah. That's what people do, by the way. I'm guessing though, since you're going to be, to the right of that line, that you're probably going to be opening up In-N-Outs there. So what does the strategy look like? Has it changed?
In other words, how far east are you going to go?
Well, it's funny. I think Kid Rock, his name's Bob, I think he's the one that actually drew the new map. And he put the line up from Texas, grabbed Tennessee, went around Tennessee and back up. And I'm like, yeah, that's accurate.
There you go.
So I think for me, it's the same heart. It's just, I guess I would say a man plans his ways and God's Texas steps, So we had a plan, and then he snuck that in there. And I think, Florida has begged us, and we're still saying no. The East Coast states, we're still saying no. We're able to reach Tennessee from our Texas warehouse.
All right, so there you go.
Hey, I have something for you on this.
What do you have?
The company called Smart Asset deals with consumer issues, analyzed some data from the Census Bureau, and they came up with a list of the 10 top cities where retirees are fleeing. They're getting out of Dodge.
Oh, yeah.
Guess what state has the top 4?
Well, California.
Yeah.
California. Absolutely. There is a massive fleeing of California.
4 cities make the list of the top 10. That's incredible.
No kidding.
Yep. So it's Los Angeles, San Diego, Oakland, and San Jose. And retirees just don't want to be there anymore.
So let's go through those again. So you said Los Angeles.
Los Angeles.
That's where I was born and raised, is there in Los Angeles in Southern California. And I will never, ever go back. Obviously, I've said that many, many different times, except to go to the Reagan Library. San Jose, which I think is outside of San Francisco, right?
Okay.
Oakland.
Yes.
Is just, Oakland is like third world territory. That's what Oakland is, third world territory. It looks horrific in Oakland.
The numbers here, there's a total population of 88,000 60 and older people in Oakland, and more than 2,000 people have left Oakland who are 60 and older, retiree age. That's the biggest percentage of people out of the cities in California. Mm-hmm. That's the biggest percentage-wise. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it's huge. And that's why, when you look at a Gavin Newsom versus a J.D. Vance, to me, what do you want to be? Do you want to be California, or do you want to be Tennessee? Do you want to be, Florida, whatever? And I think that when and we talked about this the other day, Gavin Newsom says, we've got a huge mass of people coming into the state of California, and our, the stories of our demise, not so fast. Well, as I pointed out, okay, but who are you getting, and who's leaving? Lindsay Snyder, millionaire, is leaving. Elon Musk left. Joe Rogan left. There's one more that I can't remember now, but some other rich, famous person also left. And, of course, me, not so rich and definitely not so famous. But the point is, they got in a bunch of illegal aliens. That is who they replace. Lindsay Snyder and Joe Rogan and Elon Musk and Dan Mandis and many, many others that now live in Tennessee. Well, I live in Tennessee, but, they lost Elon Musk to Texas. They lost Joe Rogan to Texas as well. And many, many other people as well. So, and they're all going to Florida. They're all coming to Tennessee. They're going to South Carolina is another one. I heard a story just this morning about the flight from California. Oakland has some very rich people in the hills and the Fruitvale area, says Joe. Maybe that's true. Here's the thing, though. How fun is it to live in a nice area when you are surrounded by crap? You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when I lived in California, I kid you not, when it started getting really bad, you would drive 3 or 4 minutes and you're in a ghetto. You're in a terrible location. You are surrounded by homelessness. I had my mom's boy. Oh, Gary Sinise is another one. Thank you. 0396.
There you go.
Kirk Cameron is here now. Shapiro, and people are now reminding me. Shapiro and the Daily Wire, absolutely. Clint Eastwood. That one I didn't know.
What? Clint Eastwood?
You know what? Vince Neil and Motley Crue left California. Yeah. The list goes on. And Vince Neil lives here. Actually, Vince Neil lives in Franklin. Do you know where you don't want to be, Joan?
Where?
Vince Neil is going to kick my butt one day. You don't want to be between Vince Neil and an In-N-Out hamburger. He's put on some weight. But then again, so have I.
Mark Wahlberg also left.
Yeah,
Mark
Sylvester
Stallone. Remember that? Sylvester Stallone
moved
his whole family
to,
out.
I think it was Florida. And you had Mark Wahlberg. Didn't he move to Utah?
Out of Los Angeles to Las Vegas.
To Las Vegas. Okay,
Yeah.
so there you go.
Kelly Clarkson, Chris Hemsworth,
McMars lives in Franklin.
Dean Cain, Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, Nicole Kidman and Mr. Nicole Kidman,
Yeah.
Keith Urban.
Him.
They obviously live here as well. Peter Frampton lives right down the road, as a matter of fact.
Wow.
So anyway, all right, enough of that. Oh, Nikki Sixx went to Wyoming. That's right.
Wow.
How do you go from, bustling Sunset Strip to Wyoming? I don't know how
I
you
think
do
Wyoming probably has some hot spots. I couldn't name them, but.
Really?
Oh.
By the way, people not understanding my joke with Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio.
Polo.
Marco Rubio.
Yeah.
Marco Polo. How do people not understand that? Like that is a classic child game.
Maybe they're trolling you.
You think they're trolling me? Well, that's okay.
We grew up in an era with like physical toys and then screens and stuff. We didn't have to make our own fun. There was fun provided.
Yeah. Well, all right. Clint Eastwood moved to Bedford County?
Wow.
I didn't know that. Really? All right. Very good. All right. We could do this all day. Talk about people who have moved to Middle Tennessee. Oh, you know who? Last one. Do you know who lives in Middle Tennessee? Oh, what is his name? The guy who was in Karate Kid.
Oh.
Who is not Ralph Macchio, but the other guy. Is it Macchio? Macchio? Whatever. The other guy. What is his name, Joan? How do you not know this?
Am
Johnny?
I a walking encyclopedia?
No, but you should be.
Okay.
The guy, Sam, is looking it up. I can't remember Sam's name either. But
Yeah, that's Sam's job.
come on, Sam, be
William
a producer.
Zabka?
Yeah, William Zabka. What did he play?
Johnny Lawrence?
Johnny Lawrence. I desperately wanted to interview him, and I could not find a connection to him to save my life. You'd think that he was trying to avoid me. But anyway, so, yeah.
I can't imagine why someone would do that.
Joan, I think we're done with this day. A lot of folks are chiming in on the super text line. Do you know what we could do, Joan, one day?
What's that?
We could actually do who's your favorite imported celebrity?
Oh. Like imported into the state of Tennessee?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in other words, all these people have come in.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know what I did one time? I did celebrity sightings. Like, who have you seen in Tennessee? And what were they doing? Because I actually find all that stuff kind of fascinating.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, in L.A., you see him all the time. I must have seen Jay Leno 1,000 times walking around in Hollywood. In Hollywood and in Burbank, where he, if I remember right, he did his show in Burbank. And he would be all over the place, taping his show and doing, man on the street interview kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, you just living in Los Angeles and hanging out in the valley like I did, you would see stars everywhere. I would be willing to bet that if I actually got out more, I would see more stars here than I see now in California. When I was in California, I think I see more stars now than in California. And when you go to Whole Foods on any given day, or some of these, higher end markets like a Trader Joe's, you camp out at Trader Joe's for a few hours, you're going to see somebody. You're going to see somebody who is a star, musician, whatever it is. Somebody told me where Taylor Swift hangs out one time.
Did you stalk her?
No, she's not worth stalking.